definitely. I would love to have more discussions with you because umuntu ovulelekile, and I like that about you. So introduce yourself, girl, because I'm not gonna do it. So over to you.
Hi, Vimbayo. I am a third-year student at Nelson Mandela University, currently majoring in industrial psychology and public administration. Many people say I'm supposed to be majoring in psychology, but
You should.
but uh you part of the list of people that say I should do psychology, but I'm not good. I'm not good at it. I'm not good. I'm not good. I'm not good at it, guys. I'm not good. I'm good at the lane that I'm at. I love helping people. I love talking about mental health, like we are going to do that today with the gorgeous lady you guys love. Hey, girl, hey.
Sweet.
Like,
So
Nonhle always give everyone credit, and she doesn't give herself enough credit. You open up space for people to talk about the things they want to talk about. So we should acknowledge that before this conversation goes any further.
I'm really trying to do that with my YouTube channel. Like I want it to be more experiences, more people, more different lives because I haven't lived my fullest life. Obviously, I can only experience so much. So that's why you're actually here. Because today we're going to be talking about today we're going to be talking about depression and mental health and how our different experiences of it and what we think and the way forward from it because it's still like a big thing even in South Africa, especially with black in a black society. Like fam, they don't understand. They I don't know if it's a matter of I don't know if it's
somebody explain this.
Okay, yeah. Please.
Somebody explain this morning.
Mm.
Somebody explained this morning. Ne?
Okay.
Our parents were raised ne?
True.
In a system of church has a solution to everything. Ne? And they never had the right to opinion. So we came into the spectrum, our right to opinion got invalidated because their right to opinion got invalidated too.
True.
Now we're at a stage where we're teaching them that, hey guys, you know what? My opinion matter. I need you to listen to me so that this thing works. We're the generation that think we're smarter than our parents. We're not. It's just that we see things based on a generational difference. We should try accommodating them. It's a struggle. It is a struggle because sometimes we project on them without realizing in the mind, okay, fine, we didn't give them enough time to understand this concept. We just projected that they don't want to listen, they don't want to do certain things, but we should give them the chance.
True. And another thing, Ogoti, they also grew up in a generation where they were also oppressed. Like they were told specific things that they can't do, like you can't show your emotions, you can't do this. So then now raising a generation that is very free, emotionally free and mature, it's very hard for them to actually understand and grasp, Ogoti, I now need to adapt to the new changes and I now need to have new skills on how to raise these different people because I mean, because parents experience traumas, right? They have their own trauma, and then they pass it onto us. Kanditina, we have knowledge now. We have like YouTube, like Google, internet. We have access to learning more about self-awareness, self-development, and things like that. We now know how to voice ourselves. But then again, abantu within the house, they don't grasp that. We are more advanced in developing ourselves, but yet again, we don't have the knowledge that they had. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it goes back to the concept that we think we're smarter because we have access to information, access to knowledge, access to everything. Everything is on our fingertips. Everyone is working with a computer in their hands.
True.
Because cell phones are so advanced. And then this is the thing. I've always said this. We are raised. This is something I've said in 2019. We are raised by people with different traumatic experiences.
True.
But if you were raised on love, you are the luckiest one.
True.
Because to you, life is solved by a hug and being told, I love you and you can pull through this. There's somebody raised on survival. They do not know how
What
it feels
is
for your
love?
mother to come hug you when you're failing and say, baby girl, it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
This is life. This is how it happens. Nobody gives you that chance. Like if you were raised like that, you're the luckiest black kid because other black kids don't experience it. I've been in a situation where I'm talking about my parents and people look at me like I'm crazy.
No, your parents are different though. We've talked about
No.
We've talked about this.
No.
They are more acceptance. They have adapted to the new generation. Akfani.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't want to be looked at society like when I'm talking about my parents to people. I don't want to be looked like I'm crazy. I'll be like on a call with my mom and they're like, "Hey, bestie," and everyone look at me like, "You're picking up a form from your mother. Why are you talking here like that?" I remember this one time I wrote a Facebook post that my mom is the craziest best friend I have. People came on me on my DM for calling my mother crazy, and she literally was happy with the post.
No, that's
like, you called your mother crazy on social media.
No, but that's the thing. It's rare because I can't say Wuti, I have the exact like relationship with my mom. No, I don't. But I'm not gonna say Wuti Umbi. No, it's not. Like all relationships are very different and we all have to put in work into it to make it better. So obviously, Natu Lasi Corner. I do think within 5 years I'll be saying the same thing like, "Hey bestie," and be telling her things that other kids wouldn't be like, "Hey bo, really? Did you tell your mom that?" So I definitely do think your mom has grasped the concept of adapting into the new generation, because without that, I mean, like a lot of I was watching, actually read an article on statistics of depressed children in primary and in high school. 1 in 8 learners are depressed. Like 1 in 8. What is that? What is that? Like it also goes back to show the environment setting. Ayikho mhlampe right. It's not good. It's not like of a healthy environment for them to be in. And then they end up causing suicide. 1 in 8. That's a lot. That's a lot. So
yeah,
like this topic is very hard.
The numbers are out there. The numbers are out. The numbers. The sad thing is that the numbers are out there. The stats is out there. We know how many kids die from suicide each year. We know how many kids die from being depressed each year. We know how much mental health is a huge deal in society, but nobody want to have the uncomfortable conversation. Nobody want to ask the difficult question.
It's that he called it the uncomfortable truth. So nobody wants to talk about the dark stuff. It's like, no, put a happy face on. Jay,
cut me off.
You'll be okay.
Like literally, I started sharing mental health journey on my WhatsApp statuses, on my Instagram statuses, on my Facebook statuses. And then people are like, "Whoa, why are you so open? Why are you so open about it?" It's stigmatized. There's a stigma, like, like it's a people think it's contagious. Guys, my anxiety is not contagious. I'm living with 3 mental disorders, by the way. I have OCD. I have anxiety and I have a sensory processing disorder. So people when you tell people you have 3 mental disorders, the first thing in their mind, you're mentally unstable.
True.
They cluster you to being crazy. That's it. Nobody wanna learn what are you talking about? What do you mean? What does that mean? How can we help? How can we accommodate?
What are the triggers to it?
Like nobody wanna learn that. Nobody wanna have that part of the conversation, because I've always said this, everyone is suffering from something. It's just that we have not made space where everyone is gonna say, "Hey, I have this," and everyone get comfortable. Like it's not easy to walk into a room and say, hey, I have 3 mental health disorders, and then have the entire room listen to you after you say that, everyone is going to look at you with pity. Everyone is going to look at you like, and then everyone is going to make the assumptions that you're a psycho and everything. I'm a psycho in most days. Like, I love doing this when I'm addressing trials. I have this thing that I go through primary schools in my vacation, and I'll be like, I'm a psycho in most days. I'm sane the majority of my life. And then sometimes I feel like drowning myself in water in order to breathe, because that's what panic attacks do.
Sure.
I remember this little girl asked me.
I have never had a panic attack. I still don't know how, like, what it feels like, but I have friends that suffer from that, so I know it's quite a big thing.
Like, when you're having a panic attack, it feels like both your lungs are failing you, bro.
Oh my God.
First thing you have to recognize is the fact that you will wake up and feel like, okay, bro, God, why did you give me dysfunctional lungs? Like, what did I do?
Yo.
Because it looked like somebody is reviving you. It looked like you died and somebody's reviving you to wake up.
God.
Or it depends on what type of panic attack you're having. If it's triggered by a flashback or something somebody's doing and you're standing and you just shake, that's normal. But then there's excessive panic attacks where you just wake up from your dreams and like there's something in you, like you feel like something is suffocating you, and when you wake up and you're like, what the hell? But you survive it because it's just like, okay, fine, this is my normal.
True.
And then
we'll keep you guys in our prayers, because I get kundima that side.
like kunzima nyani, because abanye abantu do not understand. Like, they look at you like,
oh no, Violet, no, Guti. I don't think there are enough spaces talking about such matters, because then if you just say to someone, yes, I just experienced a panic attack, for an example, they'll just brush it off as something encane, like, oh, you're overreacting. Oh no, it wasn't that a big of a deal. Kanti, they don't know Guti. And panic attacks, they do involve a lot of emotion and mental health. Like, stress can trigger them a lot. So it's not a matter of I just had a panic attack. There's something deeper that is going on within that individual that needs to be tackled. It's just not good. Oh, all right, it's also about rights. No. Like, we need more conversations around such topics, because even, I don't want to lie, I'm also guilty. I'm guilty for a person who's I've never spoken about my depression. I've never spoken about my self-harming, to be specific. It was just something very personal to me, and something like I just didn't share. The last time I shared with someone, something like someone who was close to me, I responded in such a way that I was just like, okay. Like, they also didn't understand Uguti, you self-harming. Like, they didn't understand the process behind Uguti. It's not just Uguti, the act, but there's something deeper, there's something wrong internally that needs to be fixed. So we still have a long way to go, I think. But such conversations, I think they do help with awareness.
Yeah, we do.
So, okay. So my question is, like, when did you first realize, Wuti, you are depressed? Okay, what is depression? When? Because some people just say,
well,
depression, you have to be on medication in order for you to say Wuti.
Nah, that's a lie.
True. It's like another myth that people have in their head, Wuti, in order for you to
people lie. That's a lie. You're not gonna be suppressed into medication when you have depression, when you have any type of mental health, unless majority of the time the one thing that always need you on pills has to be schizophrenia, because sometimes when you have reached the paranoia stage of schizophrenia, you don't just be given pills. Nobody just hand out pills to you.
You have to
one part that we do not pay attention to. Depression is a mental health problem of where you feel like everything in your life is just overwhelming. One, your brain is suppressed. You don't feel like being outside. You don't feel like doing literally anything. like everything just make you emotional. People make you emotional. Who you used to be, like things that used to make you happy, just overwhelm you.
Not, yeah.
Like literally, how you are in your own space overwhelms you.
True.
That's what depression is, and it's suffocating in this way. It limits, and people don't know this, but the longer you stay depressed, you're making your brain, you're damaging your brain. Depression itself is brain damaging to a point that it reduces how you store things in your memory, how you analyze things. It's always a crisis of how am I gonna do this? How am I not gonna do this? It's a very imbalancing kind of emotions all at once.
And this thing that
People love going.
No, there was this thing like if you feel depressed, give yourself a day or two to feel down and out, and then the next day start to do something like small to get out of that mental space. Because the longer you stay in it, the more you actually drowning yourself in the process.
Yeah, that's the thing. You should, like, I always told this to people that are saying I'm suffering depression. I'm just like, 2 days, reboot, just shut down the world, the entire universe. You have every right to say, I do not want to interact with people. I don't have the energy. I don't have everything. Shut down the world if necessary. Shut down internet. Shut down everything you do not need. Reboot. Yep. But the following, after the first 2 days, go running. Go do something that's going to connect you to the nature. Go do something that you know
get out of
will
that
calm you down.
Listen to upbeat songs.
That's the thing. People don't want to
talk
about this.
Hey, Bo, take a shower. The more you don't, but these are little things that cause you, that drag you down. Futhi, you haven't showered in 2 days, and you're just sitting there. You haven't ate. The small things, they actually can weigh you down a lot.
Listen to music.
True.
Dance around.
Drake, Rihanna. All of them.
like izolo ndithi kwenye intombazane into yobana mamela girls ne uyabuza how are you laughing ne but you're having a bad day ne ndithi mamela girl.
I do that all the time.
I have inspirations in life. I have people that inspire me ne and I love following their lifestyles and everything that they do, and seeing them happy make me laugh happy. And try to be happy, because I'm just like, oh, smoke, these two are crazy. That's just me. I'm like, you guys, people always say you obsessed, you do this too much, but I'm like that to my friends, I'm like that to my family. I'm all over the place.
True. You are.
But I'm just like, if I wasn't the person that I am, the overwhelming human being that I am, you guys would be bored by me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm like, I love being overwhelming. I love asking people random questions like, hey, what's up? Like, this is the thing when people like,
you're breaking.
Don't know how you
okay, seems like Mpume is breaking.
Tell us how you feel. I'm like, this is the thing, guys.
Okay.
Please don't pay attention. You do not pay attention to detail. Somebody asked me, what do you mean? And I'm like, she suffered depression for the longest time and nobody asked her how she felt. And this is the thing about depressed people, guys. Depression look like this. Depression look like that lady on the other side of that stream. We smile. We laugh.
That was me.
Dance.
That was me in high school. Nobody knew what I was going through except for myself. And to add on to that, nobody does ask you, how are you? How are you? Like, genuinely asking, not to go to you asking because you're just saying, hi, how are you? No, like, it's a routine. Like, nobody has asked me, how are you feeling? And it was genuine. No one. Throughout high school.
Like, I'm like, guys, depression look like this girl when she's smiling. Depression look like me when I'm vibing out with my friends. Depression look like me when I'm in the ocean and having fun.
It's your strongest friend that's going through the most. And it's always that one person that is always happy, like, in front of people.
Depression depression look like me when I'm acting like everything is fine and it's okay. That's what depression. People always like, how do you see that somebody's depressed? I'm like, you don't. You ask the genuine questions. You pay attention to their patterns.
You can never.
Like, you pay attention to their patterns because they have a pattern. There is a pattern for every depressed soul out there, and people do not know this. I'm like, guys, people change. Depressed people change. They always pay attention to everyone else's emotion, but not
except for themselves.
They're always checking up on everybody, because checking up on everybody else and making sure that everybody else makes you feel better. Knowing that other people are not going through what you're going through make you feel better. Those are the people that are willing to fight. And then you have the team of people that look at it and go, you know what? I'm just giving myself 10 days. If I don't get better after 10 days, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
Those are the type of people that nobody talk about. This is the thing about mental health. It's stigmatized to a point where somebody will post something on Facebook saying, I feel like death is my only solution. And the world will react like she's attention seeking. She dies. And everyone.
No. We scroll up.
Everyone.
Like as if like nothing just happened. Like no one is even bothered to be like,
when she was being depressed and telling us she's depressed, nobody paid attention.
No.
There's a newspaper article saying she died. Everyone's just like, how? How did it happen? Remember when you said she was attention seeking? Remember when you said she was doing it for trolls, she was doing it for this? We don't talk about that stuff often.
But have you lost a friend through depression? I know I have.
She was doing it for people to feel sorry. Nobody talk about it. I've lost 4 people to mental health.
Yeah.
2 suicide. The other one, it's 3 suicide. The other one overdosed on her meds.
Yeah.
That's the number of people I've lost in one lifetime through mental health.
It is.
And all of them had dreams and all of them inspirations.
Yo, yabona lento le depression, it's really a monster. It eats away your desires, dreams, hopes for tomorrow, because you literally think, ukuthi, Gandhi, what's the purpose? Why am I even alive? And you just go to the next step of like committing suicide. And it's very sad because the people that get hurt the most are the people that are left behind. Like when my friend committed suicide in high school, it was just after I was like getting back into this thing of Uti, I'm being myself again, because I was depressed in grade 10. So she committed suicide in grade 12. And I was so angry. I didn't even go to her funeral. I was just so angry and hurt because I was just like, why? But then again, Nami, I was judging her. God, then Nami, I did the same thing, and nobody knew. I was depressed. Nobody even knew I was self-harming. God, that the way I was judging her, it's the same thing. God, that I was doing. So I don't even know how the two things are connected. But right now, missing back, I'm just like, but Nami, I was also in the wrong. But I could have spoken to her about it, and she could have known, Uguti, okay, now Unut is going through this thing and she's overcome it. Maybe now in grade 12, she would have been like, okay, Unut went through something like this.
I have a chance. Maybe I have a chance.
But yo,
and numbing thing.
True. I was thinking, as people that are going through the most, that are depressed or having a situational depression, because there are different types of depression. So you can't just label Uguti. I can't just say Pume Nami, we have the same. No, we don't. My one was situational, as in like it was something that had been planted like 6 years that was happening within the family, and the breaking up of the family that led me into depression within later on the 5th year, which was then in grade 10. But it was something AI built the app slowly but surely, that I was even aware it's happening internally, until something happened and I got knocked off and then I was spiraling out of control. I was not okay, and I literally didn't even have someone to talk to. Like, as much as kukhona abangani, we don't. I didn't have that one person that I could be like, I'm going through this. Even when I had spoken to this other girl, she didn't take me seriously. She was not understanding. Nam ngaze ngafila ngathi, oh, mhlambe it's something that you don't speak out about. You just keep it to yourself and you get over it. Because I thought I'm just going through the emotions. I'll get over it. But I wasn't getting over it.
This is the thing I've always told people. We have shunned away from mental health, the conversation about mental health. Other kids, you remember when I said other kids are raised on survival, other kids are raised on love?
Yeah.
You were telling your friend how you feel because you're used to a home that acknowledge how you feel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She told you that your emotions are invalid because she's used to a home that invalidates emotions. See the difference?
Yeah.
The scale line, but you know that you're sitting right here because when you come out with it, even if our parents are less understanding of situations, but when you come out to it to your mom, like, Mom, I'm going through this, she's gonna take her time to understand it. But somebody's mother, you'd be like, Mom, I'm depressed.
They'll be defensive. You are attacking, and you know it's not an attack on your parenting skills. It's me just feeling some type of way.
Depressed.
Yes.
It's me feeling depressed. And I've always said this. I had this thing of projecting myself on people. That's when I was like, okay, Lelo, you need therapy. Because I was like, I used to project. People would tell me about their experiences, and I will make their experiences seamless or small by talking about myself, which I realized that's toxic. Because they need a space to feel like they acknowledge and their pain is
being
recognized.
Heard.
So I was like, I need to get help. And I went out and got help. And for the longest time, I've been in therapy now for like 6 months. For the longest time, it's always been like a question. People ask me, how is therapy? And I'm like, guys, therapy is not fun as people put it. It's not tough as...
Oh no! Oh, Kulumangama, talking about your emotions, to me, it's one of the hardest things that I still need to learn, to just be open. I find it very challenging, especially when you have to self-reflect. That's a nightmare. Self-reflecting, it's a nightmare because you end up seeing yourself, your true self, and your toxic traits, and you reveal them to yourself. So I think that's like the one thing that people shy away from, self-reflection.
And there's a barrier line on running away from it and shying away from it. Okay, my first 2 weeks of therapy felt like somebody was carrying a hammer and just spanking me in the head every 5 minutes, like boing, boing. And I was just like, angikwazi ngiyeka mina lento bengiyixelelani ngoba like bendiyenzelani, like I'm not functioning well. I do not want it anymore. And I remember my hell. Like, well, the first time we met, she was just like, welcome to hell. And I was like, what do you mean welcome to hell? She's just like, you have 3 mental health disorders. Three. And in your entire life, you have interchanged therapists more than 12 times.
Yeah.
And you've never lasted more than 2 weeks in therapy. You are not leaving me. You are not going to another therapist. I'm going to be a therapist. You chose me. I'm going to be your therapist up until you feel like you do not need therapy to survive the world. Because I'm not letting you go to another doctor. You're going to sit in that chair and you're going to start talking. If you do not talk, you're going to give me something that I'm going to use to make this a conversation. So I handed over my diaries because it was the only way to neutralize the situation. It's like, okay, fine, have my diaries. And I gave her all my journals, and then she started reading them. And then that's when we started having the conversation. And then she was just like, you can't constantly blame the world and everything that you go through. You have to put yourself in the equation too, because you part and parcel of the equation. It can't be the world that's always being wrong. It can't be the people around you that's always being wrong. And that's when the self-reflection mode started. And just like, okay, fine. I've been a villain too in certain cases.
Mm.
And it's time to acknowledge that. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's take your self-esteem from this level, put it down. It humbles you.
Of course.
Self-reflection humbles you.
It's the journey of unbecoming. Yeah, of course.
It just teaches you like you are not perfect. You always want to be the perfect person, and you're not. Like it teaches you that. Like I think when I'm like in this past 6 months, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about how to avoid my triggers, how to do this for certain people, how to listen, how to adapt, how to do stuff. But I think I've learned a lot about the fact that I invade people's spaces. It's one thing about myself I never wanted
Boundaries.
to accept.
Boundaries.
I am invasive. I am invasive. I only realized it this last week that you are invasive. You are too much in other people's spaces. You need to take a step back. So now I'm trying to.
No, but just to add, Mpumelelo, you are very loving and affectionate. So I definitely do understand where your too much is coming from. But then again, obviously, we're all different people. You know, we have different strokes for different folks. So yeah. Yeah.
I am a very loving, affectionate, and all over the place kind of person.
Yeah.
I get that now. But not everyone receive the same energy the same way. To some people, I'm gonna do too much. Ne? Okay.
When did you realize you were being too much?
So my therapist called me out on this. I posted my favorite couple. You know them because you're always on my statuses. I posted my favorite couple, ne? On my Facebook and my Instagram.
Everywhere.
And my therapist is just like, you literally just stole somebody's Instagram story and put it on your WhatsApp, your Facebook, and no, that's not normal. And I'm like, I didn't know. It's just like, you can put it on your WhatsApp, they don't say it. Your Instagram and your Facebook, they have access to those two parts of your life. You can adore people, but don't do it too much. You're gonna make them feel like you want something in return.
Yes, stalker vibes, psycho vibes.
I just love them to. Literally, she's just like, no, you're being a psycho. Tone it down a little. I know how much you love them. I know how much you cherish them, and I know how much they make you happy.
But then it does remind me of myself. Now me, the people that are famous, I'm obsessed with them. So, but you took it too far. Instagram, I'm gig.
All do they know you love them? You don't have to do this too much. And I'm like, the cutest combination of human beings ever. And then everyone is just like, yeah, we need to find you a girlfriend. You'll be functional that way. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm doing too much. Even if my mom wants me to date as a solution.
Wait, is that the girl, the one that you posted? The one who was wearing a suit? Is that her? It's her.
Who? No, she's not my girlfriend. She's my big sister. Like I go through.
Oh, my bad. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Big sis, I'm sorry. Yeah, but
I go through that a lot. Like I posted her on Instagram this one time. This girl was just like, damn, your girl's hot. I'm like, which girl are you talking about? And it's just like, they go on your first story. And I'm like, that sister? And I go back to the first story and I look and I find my sister and I'm like,
no.
Andy, she's not my girlfriend. I've been clearing this for like 2 years now.
You need to clear it up more because I was confused. I was confused too. So you need to clear it up more.
Okay, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you when I'm posting my girlfriend. It's gonna be a public announcement kind of a thing. But Okay, you guys have been waiting for Bay. Here's Bay because literally every woman I post now is my girlfriend.
You do that. You do that because we've been waiting. It's been a while now, so we kind of getting worried. Uguti, Smuggle, what's going on? But
I just wanted to take my mental health journey alone. You see, like I don't want to subject somebody's daughter to this.
No. It's oh, that is wow, that is also important. Ngoba khona amanye that are going through mental health, dragging other people that had no idea that they have battles that they still fighting, and they have brought this other person within their lives, and they expect that person to be a shoulder even when the person hasn't consented to it. Now angichazi ukuthi every single time when you go to your friend you have to ask, who's a friend, can I tell you something, can you be you but there are ways of be like, if I'm going to get into a relationship, the person isn't disclosing ukuthi une mental health, he's battling through this and that and that. Is it fair on me to be in a relationship with such a person? Let's put aside love, because a lot of people be like, but you love the person, you get through it. Guys, this thing of love can become very, some people are using it as a toxic trait. But hey, she will stay because she loves me. No, guys, that is not fair. Like, is it fair?
I'm gonna talk about this briefly.
I think you went through this. You told me. It was similar.
I'm gonna talk about this briefly, okay?
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with somebody that didn't, like, people don't disclose this of mental health and everything, but I feel like they should, because it make life easier for you to understand them. Because literally, I'm dating you with anxiety, and I'm gonna ignore you. I'm me. I have this tendency of just going when I hire is on the internet. And then you're gonna be out here feeling like, do you hate me? Do you do this to me? It's not hate. It's not anything. It's just that I didn't feel like talking that day.
I need
now you are out there more depressed and panicking, thinking I don't love you anymore. But if you've disclosed that you have anxiety out of sex, like talking me, talk to you when I flag it. Yeah, but now I can't do that if you do not give me the spectrum where you're like, Lalo, I'm this person. People need to create level ground of making me understand you. It's hard to start a relationship with somebody that's not willing to be vulnerable. It's hard to start a relationship with somebody that's like, relationships are basically the hardest shit ever.
True. Intimacy. For me, number one is intimacy. And if you say intimacy, abantu abaningi they think ukuthi it's sex. Intimacy is, the definition of it is you being vulnerable, you letting me in, you showing me ukuthi you have weak spots, you're not perfect. That is intimacy. And I do think ukuthi most people, they don't have it in their relationship. It's always, let's go out, let's do this. It's never ukuthi what are you suffering from that is causing you, or that is setting you back on life? Like, what are the things that are challenging to you when you wake up? When you wake up one day and you don't want to get out of the bed, why? Like, those are the questions. Like, yo, man, everything is very fast. The relationships are flying. Mujolo, everything is quick. And there's no time for you to actually sit down with your partner and be like, what is your mental status? Like, where have you been? Primary, were you okay? How was your childhood? High school, were you okay? Like, discussions like that, I feel like they build a relationship, and they build a connection between the two people. Because then umuntu usayazi ukuthi okay, uNonhle is triggered by me not acknowledging her feelings. She's triggered by me acting all funny if I'm not consistent. Like, those are the things to avoid, because now you end up with people in a relationship that have no clue ukuthi utriggerisha yini, and when they see you upset, they're like, she's having one of those moods. Can't they know?
Listen,
there's a trigger.
I have an experiment that I did.
Yeah. What was the
Lacey
experience?
and Freshy are producers of the Lacey and Freshy production page on YouTube, right?
Okay.
There's a show called New Black Love, season 1. It's a couple
Oh
edition.
yeah, I've seen you post about it. Yeah.
I always experiment this with couples. Okay. I watch New Black Love with couples for 2 reasons. I want to see their reactions. I want to see if they're gonna join the show. Do you know what always trigger me about watching it with couples?
Yeah.
Is the fact know their partner's love languages. I'm talking about people that have been married for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. And when we get to the topic of love languages,
some
people in the room do not move. They do not know what the fuck is that. I'm talking about relationships that have been like here for like I watch it with one of the 2 people that I respect their marriage. And then the topic, who taught you to love? Like the show is literally like the most questions that we never got asked. Like I've never I've never had somebody asking someone who taught you to love up until I watched the show. Like, okay, that's the very complex question. How do you answer that? How do you go about answering that? And then I watch it with people, adults, grown as people that have been married for a long time, and some of them do not even understand what a love language is. Some of them do not understand who taught them how to love. They're just in these relationships. And some of them end up crying when the show ends because now it's everyone picking out flaws on their stand view. It's crazy.
It's very
because
interesting.
If we've acknowledged the fact that we need communication and barrier lines, acknowledging one another in relationships, we wouldn't have that moment after a nice, great show. But we do. We're grown people that we're subject, like when it comes to relationship and mental health and acknowledging your partner, it's tough because it's not even done by the people that we say are typicals of marriage.
No, and the fact that everything has to begin with you. So if you are not okay, and now you're gonna bring someone else in that environment, then both of you guys are not gonna be okay. That relationship is not gonna be stable. So it just goes with a lot of things end up not happening that should be happening within the relationship. So my final thoughts on mental health. Yeah, like what's the way to go forward?
I feel like we should start talking about it more. It will save a lot of kids.
Agreed.
We should start learning about it more. To parents that might come across this, when your kids say, "Mom, I have anxiety, Mom, I have this," they're not saying you're doing something wrong with your parenting. It's none of your business. It's something that is in their brain. It's a mental health problem, not your parenting being questioned. Depression isn't questioning your parenting. A disorder isn't a disorder, anorexia, anything that's going on in their brain isn't questioning who and how you raise them. It is a question of, "Mom, I need your support while I'm doing this. I need
your help through this process."
That's what I want to say to parents, to people battling this, to people battling it. It's not an easy journey, guys. It's not going to be an easy journey, but it's all about embracing it. Embrace it, talk about it. Embrace it, talk about it, stream. Sometimes when you feel like streaming, it's okay. Stand in a stoop and stream, lay on your back and stream. You'll be fine. It gets better. That's one thing that people don't tell you. It gets better. It does. It does.
Look at
if you feel like drowning yourself, the numbers to call, guys.
She has 3 mental health issues, but she's actually telling me it gets better. Trust her. Like she knows the ins and outs of this already now. No,
like, man. It does, guys. Eventually it does. Eventually you adapt to moving with all 3, to knowing all 3, to understanding all 3 combined all in one place. Like, because I've always told people this, when you find people that make you feel grounded in yourself, find people that make you feel like you belong, find people that tell your stories, find your stories, find people that make you comfortable in their spaces. Try not to judge, I think when you've explored the world, like I think the first thing I did for myself and my mental health was trying to find people that are going to tell my stories. The one thing that all often depresses and subconsciously drown us is the fact that we do not exist in most places. So go out there, find people like you. You will notice that it's okay.
You're not
Literally,
alone.
it's
You're
fine.
not alone.
It get better.
Hmm.
We had stigma on
HIV.
things like HIV, TB,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
We just need to keep ourselves aware, and it make this entire thing easy. It make this entire journey easy.
True. Thank you so much, Mpume, for
Your
taking
smile.
your time and coming and doing a meeting with me. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a blessed day, guys, and a blessed day, Nonhle.
Oh, you too. You too,
I'm
babe.
signing out.
Bye.